adjustment here. Quiet. Okay, so we just begin by standing with the feet at shoulder width apart. Whole body relaxes. Mind moves down into the very core of the body. We're going to make our turn from the core of the body. So we relax the arms gently by the sides. We just turn the body and just look over the shoulder. See how the body responds to this first turn. Do the other side. It's just a chance to audit your spine, see how it's feeling this morning, see how the hips and neck and shoulders are feeling, see how your knees and ankles are feeling, and then we can just release the body and gently tap. So the point behind that is that it gives you a chance just to think, oh, my back feels a little bit stiff there, and perhaps you can just slow the exercise down or make the exercise smaller. So in theory, you should be able to do every one of these exercises. However, you might only do a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of it. You might just think that moving from side to side in a very small way like this is all that you want to do at the moment. That's fine. So no matter what I say, you have to adjust these exercises to suit yourself. That's the absolute key, is that every exercise can be adjusted to suit your body's requirements. So we let everything turn slowly. We keep our shoulders and elbows relaxed. We can feel our hips and knees gently move. Just tapping. Everything in your body is a vibration. Everything in your body is a wave. A gentle tap with the palms on the side of the body, stimulating your liver and your spleen. A gentle tap with your wrists on the small of your back, stimulating your kidneys. Gentle thump of your forearm onto your belly, gently stimulates your stomach, your digestive system. So at a very deep level, you're just sending this gentle drum vibration through the body. You tap on, the vibration stimulates inside. A gentle turn just works on your spine, releases and relaxes your spine. Gentle movement to the arms releases and relaxes your shoulders, elbows and wrists. Gentle turn of the waist just moves your hips. Even your knees and ankles move a little bit. What more could you want as a gentle wake-up call for your body? So on the theme of everything in your body is a vibration, so you have to know your physics and things like standing waves. So a table that seems very, very solid is actually just made up of millions of molecules, but they're kind of trapped in what's called a standing wave, so they become a very sort of solid item. There's a lovely example. If you stand on a ping pong ball, you'll crush it. But if you fill a cardboard box with ping pong balls and stand on top of that, it supports you. So all of these little molecules are sort of glued together. But it's the same for your body. Your whole body's made of atoms and molecules. And as we know, when you look through a microscope, the more you look, the deeper you go, the more space you find inside. You find that actually what you think is very solid is actually very ethereal. There's not much to us. You know, we are an enormous amount of space inside our bodies. And so that's where your voice box comes into play. It provides an amazing tool that allows you to vibrate your own body. So when we make the tones later on, the sounds, the whole point about that is setting up a deep vibration inside. It sets off this whole healing vibration. So if we think of problems in the body as being flows of energy that have got stuck, and we think about vibrations, a sound that's perfectly pitched to vibrate your liver, a sound that's perfectly pitched to vibrate your heart, and then what we see is a gentle shaking and vibrating which loosens up blockages. That's what we're working with today. We'll do the sacred sounds one more time today so I can test my new technology. And then next week, who knows what we'll move on to, but what we'll gently do today is some sacred sounds working through each organ of the body, and then we'll do some Qi healing at the end. Okay, so we can take this exercise and change it slightly. So slow it down a little bit, but make it longer. Look over your shoulder, expanding the whole of the neck now. Okay, I'll just remind you that if you feel lightheaded at any stage during this exercise, get in contact with your toes. Squeeze your toes against the ground. Feel the surface of your toe pressing against the surface below. As we start to inspect that feeling of the toes touching the ground, of the ball of the foot touching the ground, then we start to move the energy downwards in our body and bring ourselves back into a state of balance. Easy, gently, long, slow, everything opening. Just a few more times. Good, and then allow everything to gently grind to a halt. Slowly, slowly. Comes to a stop. Plug your hands into the earth and imagine lifting Qi up. Beautiful ball of energy. Allow the Qi to pour down through your body, moving from your head, deep into your chest, deep into your belly. Gathering again. And pouring. Focus of the exercise is the belly, to bring everything deep inside your belly. And then as you relax the hands, it just feels like a connection, a circuit. So we're lifting up yin qi from the earth, yang qi from the heavens, a perfect balance of yin and yang, moving down through your body, filling every cell with this beautiful energy, pouring it deep into your belly where we store our qi. And then relaxing and letting the hands continue on down just to create a circuit. So if you're feeling lightheaded, just keep going through that another 10 times if you wish. Okay, so we'll move into our forward and back bends. So let's just do that one more time. Just plug the hands into the earth, lift the Qi up, gathering up above. And then we can just follow our hands all the way down into a forward bend. Keep your knees nice and soft for the first two. So we just draw the hands gently down. Let them flow down to the belly. And then just let the head go over. Let the spine gently curl. The knees stay soft. We just roll ourselves gently down into a pike bend. And then just let the back of your neck relax as well. So we often try and hold our head up to see what's going on, but really try and give your neck up as much as you can. So you know this exercise, we split the foot into 4 pieces. First of all, we gently stretch down towards our toes. And then you release that. You imagine a line drawn between the roots of your toes. Just gently stretch down towards that line. And release. You imagine a line drawn between the insteps. Gently stretch towards that.
And release. You imagine a line drawn between your heels. Stretch back to your heels. If you can go deeper, you can. But as you can see, each bend just gets gradually deeper. And release and relax and let the body hang. To bring ourselves upright, you point your tailbone right up into the blue sky behind you, and then you swing your tailbone towards the front of the body, and the spine gently stacks up. And then we join our arms and ears together, and that just adds an extra kind of cantilever to the top of the neck, just to give it an extra stretch. And then we bring ourselves up to full height. Good long stretch. Okay, let your knees go forwards, lean back gently. Up and gently back. Up and gently back. Up and gently back. Up, and then we can just do some simple side bends. Just let your left hand arc down. Right hand side of the body opens up a little bit. This is stretching your liver open. As we go down the right side, gently stretches your spleen and pancreas open. Transfer again. And as you go down the left hand side, that kind of squeezes your spleen. So it's just been stretched open. Now it's been nicely squeezed. As we go down the right side, that squeezes your liver. So it's like kind of squeezing a sponge. You know, you sort of squeeze the sponge and then let go of it underwater, and it sort of absorbs lots more water. And so it's kind of like, you know, squeeze your liver, and then all the blood goes rushing back into it. Squeeze your spleen, all the blood goes rushing back into it. It's just good for the organs. Okay, so let's begin again. Tip over. The head and the arms go over. The body kind of stays straight. It's only when your arms get down to parallel with the floor that you really start to arc into the upper back, middle back, and the lower back. Allow yourself to gently sink and relax down. Knees still soft. Back of the neck relaxes. Good. Extend softly towards the toes. And release. Towards the roots of your toes. Release. Towards your insteps. And release. Back towards your heels. Release and relax. Point the tailbone up into the blue sky behind. The legs kind of straighten a little bit. And then push the tailbone to the front. Spine starts to build up. Arms and ears come up as one piece. Gently draw up. Stretching up into the blue sky. Knees and hips go forward, you lean back. Stretching up. And gently back. Up. And back. Up. And back. Hands go up into the blue sky. Left hand arcs down. Right side of the body opens. Down on the right. There's a tiny little sort of almost back bend involved in this. As you go down the right side, you just incline a tiny bit backwards as well, as if you could stretch back to the back of your right knee. Down on the left. Tiny incline backwards as well. And down on the right. Good, and then lift your hands up into the blue sky. So let's try and do these exercises with straight legs now, and that gives the hamstrings an extra little stretch. So tip over the head, the arms, the ears. Then you can arc into the upper back, middle back, lower back. So with the straight legs, you might not go down as far as you did before, but that's not a problem. Doesn't matter where you get to. You just make every exercise work for yourself, not for me. Relax the back of the neck as much as you can. You can tuck your tummy in a little bit. Sometimes that gets you slightly lower. Okay, or if you're like me, it does. Okay, so extend gently towards your toes. And release. In line with the roots of your toes.
and release. Working towards your insteps, and release. Working towards your heels. Relax and release, body hangs. Lift the tailbone up behind. Push the tailbone to the front. Curl the spine up. Head, arms and ears come up as one piece. Stretch up into the blue sky. Gently releasing your knees and your hips forward as you lean back. Stretching up and back. Up and back. Up and back. Hands up into the blue sky. Left hand gently arcs down. Down on the right hand. On the left. On the right. Draw both hands up above the head. Last time through. Legs are nice and straight. Head, arms and ears tip over, just bending the top cervical vertebra. Upper back, middle back, lower back, and sink. Legs are straight. Body relaxes. Back of the neck relaxes. When you hang like this, you can sometimes just shift the weight a little bit forward into your toes and really sort of feel that hamstring stretch evolve. Okay, so usual exercise, stretch down towards the toes and release. In line with the roots of your toes and release. In line with your insteps and release. In line with your heels, nice deep bend. Relax, release, body hangs. Tailbone points into the blue sky behind you. Tailbone pushes to the front of the body. Gently curl up. Join your arms and your ears together. And draw up, curl up to the full height. Stretch up. Your knees and hips gently drift forward as you lean back. Stretching up and gently back. Up and gently back. Up and gently back. Hands up in the blue sky. Arc your hands down to the left hand side. Down on the right. On the left. And on the right. Gather the right hand up. Just stand for a moment with your hands above, pouring Qi down through your body. Almost like standing in a beautiful waterfall of Qi. Imagine this incredible energy pouring through your body, filling every cell with Qi. Let's just release the hands down the sides. And we can do the gathering exercise one more time. So plug the hands into the earth, lift Qi up, a beautiful ball of energy up above your head. Draw the Qi down through your body. It goes through the top of the head, into the center of your brain, down the core of your body, into the center of your chest, core of your body, deep into your belly. And then release the hands and let it flow back to the earth. Gathering Qi. Lift up. Pouring Qi. So I tend to find that 3 suits me well, but if you find that you want to do more, just keep going, it's not a problem. Everything has to be adjusted to suit you, not to suit me. Okay, the next time we're just going to draw our hands down and put them on the belly. Now, as I've mentioned before, if you feel that you might want to sit halfway through, why not just put a chair right behind you so that you don't even have to move. All you need to do is just sort of sit your bum down. So if you get tired during the sort of standing exercise, you can always just kind of sit down on a chair and keep going. So we just bring our hands to our bellies. So these standing exercises, they really are extraordinarily potent. As you stand here, you have your knees a little bit bent. Of course, that activates your thighs and your calves, but only in a very subtle way. So now you're using the muscles to stand up on, rather than the bones, which we often do. We kind of lock our knees back. Or very often we kind of put one ham onto the side of the table, or we sit, or we lean against something. It's all about kind of taking the weight off. But when you're doing your standing Qigong, you're just standing. There's nothing else. It's called standing like a post, but that's a misnomer, because actually there is a little bit of movement in it always. It's more like standing like a tree. You gently move in the breeze. And so don't worry about your standing posture. Don't get caught up on it. What we're doing here is just standing as long as we can. We're keeping our knees bent. There's a tiny little adjustment you can make to the tailbone. You can just move it a tiny bit towards the front. So your tailbone tends to sort of slightly point backwards. As you move to the front, it just becomes a little bit straighter, and then that helps us when we have this idea of just sort of gently sitting down a little bit. They say sitting down on the Qi chair. You keep your back nice and straight. You're looking forwards. You tuck your chin slightly back towards your spine. So very often in Tai Chi, people say tuck chin in, and what happens is the whole class end up looking at the floor. But this is really more like tuck chin back, sort of slightly drawing your chin backwards. What happens is that straightens your cervical curve. The little tuck forward of the tailbone straightens your lumbar curve. So when you tuck your tailbone forward and move your chin slightly backward, that's the straightest your spine will ever be. So you have this lovely straight spine that allows the Qi to flow up through the body. So we have this lovely idea of standing here with the knees bent, the Qi flowing up from the earth, drawing up into the belly. We have a lovely straight spine. The heavenly energy pours down into the belly. It all gathers deep inside you, deep in your core, behind our hands. All this wonderful energy. And so we don't get taught this at school. We don't get taught how to harvest Qi at school. Sort of a life skill that is incredibly important and that Chinese people have known about for centuries, but somehow, we never get to hear about it. So here it is. And standing Qigong is the most simple healing form of them all. When you stand in a quiet way, first of all, you have to find something that's sustainable. So don't be afraid to open your feet a little bit, close your heels a little bit, shuffle around until you've got something you can manage. Change your chest, change your shoulders, whatever it is you need to do. And sometimes I find that I have to kind of lift the center of my chest up a little bit, because I tend to find that my shoulders tend to roll down, so I sort of have to counteract that. And sometimes I move my feet a little bit straighter. You just have to keep on gently moving. But what we try to do is to keep our mind still, because the body can distract you terribly. It can bring you away from this quietened state that we can get into. What we want to do is to find something that is sustainable. That might include sitting down. So what we're looking to do is to quieten the mind, stop thoughts from running through the head. Draw the mind into your belly. So imagine putting your mind into the lift on the top floor, and then you press the basement button and it goes down all the way deep into your belly, where your mind gets out and it just sort of settles itself into a nice armchair deep inside your belly, and just rests there quietly. Very much in your body and not in the outside world. Every time your mind flips off to Tesco's, Sainsbury's, the shopping list, the kids, the lunch, whatever, you have to just gently draw it back. Because when your mind is out and thinking about things, you're expending energy. When your mind is inside your body, you're healing. This is why we try to cultivate this quietened mind. So bring the mind back and hold it deep inside. Allow it to stay deep in your belly.
your body relaxed, your mind can expand. Expand your mind down into your feet, to your head, to your shoulders, down to your arms, to your fingertips. Expand your mind through your spine, through the whole body. Perhaps expand the mind a bit further. Round your body is an energy field called your Wei Qi layer. It's about sort of an inch or two round your skin, a protective layer of energy. Expand your mind and gently feel the energy round your skin. Expand your mind further into what's called your Qi body. It's like a meter above, a meter below, a meter in front, a meter behind. This wonderful, lovely big Qi body round you, protecting you, but also connecting you out into the wider Qi field. You're really like a little Qi vegetable swimming in a vast Qi soup. There's energy around you. All the time we're connected to each other. This vast field of energy we swim in, our universe, this vast field of undifferentiated Qi. Our consciousness creates us. So the things that are going on for you at the moment, the things that you maybe don't feel are right in your body, those are deep conscious patterns. What we do is we gently quieten ourselves down, we build the Qi up, and the body starts to heal itself from that perspective. But the more we can keep the mind quiet, the more those patterns start to gently dissolve. So let go of yourself, let go of your identity, let go of your ego, and gently dissolve into the Qi field around you. Dissolve every thought of who you are, and let it dissolve into the Qi field around you. Go further out into the workspace you're in, your room, your garden, wherever you are. Expand out, town, city, county, country, continent, and eventually you can imagine yourself expanding out to this beautiful view of our blue planet, as if you're a satellite. Expand beyond that, imagine our beautiful solar system, all the stars and the sun. Beyond that, the Milky Way. Beyond that, our universe. Why not allow yourself to feel the vastness of our universe? Gently expand out and realize this incredible tool, your consciousness, is able to transport you to the vastness of our universe. Don't be afraid. There's beautiful healing Qi here. Vast quantities of undifferentiated Qi. All that's required is your consciousness to draw it back to heal your body. So we reverse our journey. We start to imagine our Milky Way, and then we start to see our solar system, and eventually we can start to see our beautiful blue planet. We can pause for a moment and imagine sending love to someone, somewhere, something, perhaps an entire country, whatever you feel. You can sort of beam your unconditional love down to someone. And then we imagine our journey backwards, down and finding our continent, our country, our county, our city, our town, our workspace, our house, whatever it is, and eventually we find our body. So think about this vast source of undifferentiated Qi and the ability you have to draw it back into your body, to bring it back into every cell, to heal your body at the deepest level. A simple opening motion lets your body expand to the four corners of the universe, and a simple closing brings the energy of the universe back into your body. You can dissolve at any moment and reform a perfect working version of you. Why would you bring back the old stuff? What would be the point of that? So when you let go, truly let go. Let go of the old patterns that pin you in place. Let go of the old stories you tell yourself. Oh, I've never been good at, I've never been able to. Let go of all of those ideas. You don't need them anymore. Do not be limited. The only thing that limits you are your stories. Feel your true potential. So expand in this vast way, feeling our true potential. And then we bring back this incredible healing chi into our body. So when we do this little exercise of opening out into the universe and bringing chi back, we're harmonizing ourselves as a group as well. We connect as a class. We connect with all the other millions of classes around the globe, millions upon millions of practitioners who do Zhening Qigong everywhere. Vast chi family. You can connect to all the teachers you might have met, all the teachers you haven't met, Dr. Pang. There's this incredible chi field of information that's available to you. So you plug into this cloud of Zhening Qigong information, and you can also benefit from that. If you have a broken liver, then there's always going to be millions of people who have a perfect functioning liver, who have that great information to send to you. And so you also have great information to send to them as well. So we plug ourselves into this idea of Zhening Qigong, this chief field of information. We bring the healing back into our bodies. You feel that you can heal at the deepest level. So when we do these exercises, it connects us and harmonizes us. And we can really begin our exercises from here. Okay, so perhaps you're in a comfortable standing stance or sitting stance or even lying down. We're just going to gently work away with our 6 sacred sounds. Now, for those guys who know Chinese medicine, you'll know there are 5 major organs. You've got your heart, you've got your spleen, you have your lungs, you have your kidneys, you have your liver. So how come there are 6 sounds? Well, the 6th sound kind of brings the 5 sounds together. It's a sort of a final enveloping of the work we've done. So we're just making these sounds with our breath. We're going to take a gentle breath in, and we're going to, in the heart case, which is the first one we'll work with, we're going to say ha, ha. And actually it's quite nice because with the heart you can actually put your hands on your heart, and when you say ha, you'll feel it vibrate. And sometimes you have to move your hands a little bit to get the vibration. Sometimes also you want to move the tone up a little bit or down a little bit, so it's not always going to be the same as me. You have to find your own ha tone. So you might have to say ha and then ha, oh, ha, ha. Oh, there it is in the middle, ha. So I've, done it many times and found my tone. But you find yours as well. So in the standing posture, you can have your hands in front of your heart. You can put your hands on your heart. You can massage your heart. You can have your hands on your tummy and think about your heart. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever feels correct for you. So we'll do the heart tone. We'll do all of the tones 6 times, but because it's summertime and that is the heart time, so there's a season that goes with every organ as well. That's the heart time. We can do the heart tone 9 times just to give it a little bit of an extra boost. So knees soft, tailbone gently drawing down, spine long, chin gently tucked in. We take a nice posture with the hands, connected to the heart in some way. And then we gently breathe in. And we say, ah. Breathing in. In. The hands can even be on the breastbone. Just feel the vibration of the heart. Breathing in. Nice breath in.
Okay, so we'll do another 3. Breathe in. Breathing in. Last time. So that just stimulates the heart. You gently massage the heart. You can rub your hands around on the heart. Even if you wanted, you can gently tap onto the heart. So you just have to kind of feel into these things and see what feels best for you. So you just gently move your hands around perhaps, and you can stop for a moment on the heart and just feel heart energy, strong, working well. And during the summertime, the heart is called upon to do most of its work, so we get this kind of like, extra boost for the heart. What is heart all about? Heart's about love, about joy, and then, when it's bent out of shape, it's about kind of hatred and things like that. So what we do is try and kind of like, ameliorate the worst and build the best just by using these tones. And of course, there's the physical heart function as well, pumping all the blood around and all that sort of stuff, keeping strong. So it works on every level. It works on the emotions, it works on the physicality. Okay, great, so let the hands gently down. Okay, so if you want, sometimes people do pulling down afterwards, like a full stop, kind of gathering energy and pouring it back through, and then sort of bringing the hands back to the belly. So it's up to you when you're doing your heart tones whether you want to add that in or not. We're going to move on to the next is the spleen. So as I say, there are 5 seasons in Chinese medicine. The oddity is that they have that thing we often refer to as Indian summer. That's the season that they refer to as the spleen season, as it were, the spleen time of year. So we have hot summer, and I think we're probably moving almost into that late summer now. And so that works on the spleen. So we can always build up our spleen energy. And the spleen sound is whoo. Okay, so you can say kind of like WHO, kind of whoo. So you can hit that sort of, and then ooh afterwards. You could have your hands on your spleen. You can have your hands in front of your spleen. Doesn't really matter. Up to you. So we're going to say ooh, and then we'll do it 6 times. So take a nice deep breath in, and then we say breathing in. Nice breath in. Deep breath. Let's do a few more. Last one. So spleen is on your left-hand side under your ribs. You could just kind of gently massage that area if you want, or gently tap that area. Just hold your hands on the spleen and feel the healing going on deep inside. Spleen is also about the whole sort of digestive system as well. So the connection with spleen is late summer, and it's kind of harvest, and we think about, golden colour. We think about sort of harvest, we think about corn, we think about bread, we think about olive oil, we think about all those colours for the spleen. And spleen's emotions are things like trust. So when you find it hard to trust people, it means that your spleen energy is a bit low. And then the other thing is that when you're a worrier, an overthinker, when you chew things over all the time, that exhausts your spleen. And so we have to have a little bit of sugar, not too much, because too much sugar can exhaust your spleen as well. We have to have some sweetness in our life to kind of support our kind of thinking process. But if we're overthinking too much, we can exhaust our spleen. And so you could work with the sounds to build your spleen up again. And also, of course, if you're thinking too much, the thing to do is stop thinking too much. And that's what meditation is called, effectively. Okay, great. So when we move from late summer, we move into autumn, and that's the province of the lungs. The lungs sit right up under your shoulder blades. So it's a bit more difficult to kind of hold the lungs sustained for a long time, or tap on the lungs, or rub the lungs. Sometimes just having your hands in front of your lungs, or just on the belly and thinking of your lungs is sufficient. So the lung tone is called S, 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 like a snake hissing away. What happens is when you vibrate the little alveoli on the end of your lungs. So if you don't know about your lungs, they're like a stalk of broccoli shoved upside down into a kind of plastic bag. And the little sort of florets at the end of the broccoli is what vibrates, gets the whole sort of lung vibrating deep inside. Okay, so we're going to use this tone. And the lungs, gosh, they have so much inside the lungs. They hold guilt, grief, shame, sadness, sorrow, all of that stored up in your poor lungs. So we have to release our lungs as best we can to just to take the pressure off our lives. So let's vibrate the lungs at the deepest level. So take a nice deep breath in, and you can just say, breathing deep. Breathing deep. Breathe in. Couple more. Last one. If you ever feel yourself lightheaded, you can always just gather the chi, pour it down through your body, draw everything back to the belly. So we feel our lungs lightening and opening. Okay, so next in the seasonal move would take us into winter, and that's the kidneys. So your kidneys sit around the back, just kind of underneath your ribs, on your ribs. So you can actually almost touch your kidneys, and you can kind of rub them just by holding the lowest rib at the bottom. You can tap onto your kidneys to stimulate them. You could just hold them there. Or easier than that is that you could just have your hands in front and imagine your kidneys behind. So whatever suits you for stimulating the kidneys have got the strangest tone of them all. We say chew-y. So like chewy, something's very chewy, but you hit that real chew, because that, if you feel, you put your hands onto your diaphragm, onto your belly, and say chew, you can feel your whole diaphragm jump. Chew, 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 chew. And each time you say chew, you're making your kidneys bounce, and they quite like that. So you get a little sort of bounce. I'm sure they probably like those little trumpets as well, because the whole body's sort of bouncing. The kidneys quite enjoy that. And so, chew. And then after you do that, you say so you give up about a third of your breath to saying chew in a sort of explosive, plosive way, and then you let you run out afterwards, it gently vibrates the kidneys in a very subtle way. So wherever you choose to put your hands, let's do 6 chewies. Breathing in. And hit the chew. Breathing in. Chew. Nice breath in. Chew. And again. Chew. Breathing in. Chew. Last time round. Breathing in. Chew. If you haven't already, you could move your hands around to your kidneys. Just rub the back of the hands against the lowest rib. Just gently massage the kidneys, or gently tapping onto the kidneys with the back of the hand. So kidneys, yeah, I mean, the water works, as your grandma used to say. So it helps on the physical basis with the kidneys and the bladder, but also sexual function as well. The kidneys govern that. And also from an emotional perspective, kidneys are about fear. And so we notice as we get older that, we go to the loo more often in the night and sexual function lowers. And the kidneys are also bizarrely connected to your hearing. So if you imagine you've got 2 kidneys on this side, on each side of your body, you have 2 ears the same shape. And so the kidneys are all about hearing. So the kidneys are also all about old age, about getting older. So the more you kind of stimulate your kidneys, the more you keep your kidneys strong, the younger you are as a person. That's a nice idea. Keep working on your kidneys, keep yourself young. And as I mentioned, the emotion of the kidneys is fear. And as we notice, as we get a bit older, we get more fearful. We don't want to do things. We don't want to travel. We don't want to, because we have a slight layer of fear there. And that's building up in the kidneys. So the more we work with the kidneys, the less fearful we become. Fear is always good in parts. It keeps you safe. It stops you from walking down the alleyway behind the football ground. That's sensible fear. But there's also irrational fear of just not wanting to do something because you're scared. So we bring our kidneys back into balance and our fear comes to a normal level. Good. Okay. So last is liver, and that's springtime. And so we're just working on our liver, and we're saying the sound shoo, like a shoe you put on your foot. Shoo. And that just vibrates the liver. And the liver's all about anger. Sometimes you get very angry. And you can imagine when people get angry, they get very red-faced. And that's the image of the blood rushing up from the liver and going into your face. So we can calm ourselves, take the anger away by working with our livers. So let's just say shoo 6 times. You could hold your liver, have the hands in front, whatever suits. Take a nice breath in. Shoo. Breathing in. Shoo. So you can gently massage onto your liver. Massaging spleen and liver, that's no problem, because the spleen and liver are so kind of similar. So you can gently massage both at the same time. They're like two twins separated at birth. They've got so many common functions. Very good. Okay, great. So set the hands. Relax, however. You can put them on the tummy. We'll just do the final sound, which brings it all together, and that is she. So just take a gentle breath in. She. She kind of harmonizes all the organs. Breathing in. She. Once more. Just let the hands relax down. Hold the ball of chi in front of your belly. So we'll just do a few moments of healing. Back to this original idea. As you open your hands, just let the whole body dissolve. So what problems are you dissolving today? What are you letting go of? What don't you like in your physicality, in your emotions, in your life, in your past story? Let them go, let them dissolve. When you bring your hands back together, bring back immense healing power from the universe into that aspect of your life. So you might think to yourself, I'm very easily upset. You've just been working with the liver, so you think, okay, I'm going to dissolve that aspect of me. It's gone. I'm going to bring back a much more placid version of me. Or it might be, my knee is sore. I'm going to dissolve my knee and bring back a perfect working version of my knee. So whatever it is you choose to do, you just think about it once. You kind of set your intention, and then after that, we're just opening and closing, letting the body gently dissolve and reform itself in exactly the way it knows best. You can't keep on saying, it's my broken knee, because you don't know how to do it. You just have to once say, let go of my broken knee, and then bring back a perfect healed version. And after that, it's just softly, gently dissolving the whole area around the knee and bringing back whatever healing is required. When we open the hands, we say kai. It's the Chinese word for open. When we close the hands, we say he. It's the Chinese word for gather. So, kai lets you let go at the deepest level. He draws back healing deep into your body. Open and dissolve. Just do a few more. Letting go, the deepest level of you. Healing chi pours into your body from the universe, direct into you. A couple more times. Do the next two a little bit more silently. last two just with movement, no sound. Eventually just gather your hands gently onto your belly. Think about your body, totally healed, every aspect healed. Anything you wanted to change starts to change now. Hey, sometimes the physical takes a little bit longer to catch up with the mental, the emotional, but that's fine. We just keep on plodding away. Just keep on believing that this is healing us. At the deepest, deepest fundamental, believe that things are shifting and changing. Things can shift and change for you in a split second, in a moment. Sometimes things take longer, but it doesn't matter because you're healing all the way. So just be patient with your body. Allow it to gently heal. Allow things to gently change. We don't control the outcome. We don't specify what we need. We just let the universe heal us at a deep, deep level. Okay, so let's close off then. So we just bring our feet together again. We can bring our hands together in the prayer position. We'll use the standard kind of closing from Qigong. We just take our hands up over the crown of the head. We'll just stretch your hands up into the blue sky and feel your whole spine stretch up. You can just let the hands down a bit, let the knees soften slightly. And then we open up little fingers, ring fingers, middle fingers, split the hands apart in a beautiful kind of rainbow arc down to shoulder height. You can imagine gathering 2 handfuls of qi. Draw around to the front, in front of your third eye, and imagine sending qi from your fingers deep into your brain, illuminating the whole of your brain, every cell of your brain working well. All functions of your brain, total clarity, no fog. All functions, perfect working order. Then we draw the elbows back, we draw the hands back, just touch underneath the arms on the side of your body. That sends energy deep into this middle energy field. It supports your heart, it supports your lungs, it supports your spleen, pancreas, liver and kidneys, an abundance of energy deep inside these organs. Okay, then we just drift our hands towards the back, just pointing towards the horizon behind you. And then the back of the hands move forwards. Turn the palms over. Send a wave of qi out into the blue sky. And then allow it to be drawn back to your belly. So it's almost like we're taking this vast ball and squeezing it directly in, holding all this incredible qi deep inside your belly. So the lower dantian, the lower energy field, is where all of the energy is stored for your whole life function. Imagine it deep inside there, stored. And what we're going to do is just imagine flowing the qi from your lower energy field up into your brain, up your spine, up into your neck. Imagine illuminating your shoulders and your arms to your fingertips. Illuminate your spine and your ribs, upper torso, middle torso, lower torso. Illuminate your hips, into your hip joints, down to your tailbone, into your thighs, into your knees, into your calves, into your ankles, into your feet. Qi filling the whole of your body, qi healing the whole of your body, every function of your body returning to perfect working order, all functions of your body normal. Just like that, normal. Not the old normal, the new normal, fixed, working well, strong, open, stretched, happy, blood flowing well, qi flowing well, an abundance of energy. So let's just turn our hands 3 times anti-clockwise around the belly. So the symbolism of this is just drawing energy back into the core of you. Anything that's excess gets sort of stored in the belly, deep inside. We run 3 circles around. And then we return them in the opposite direction, clockwise, and this just sends a message to the body. We've finished training, we're going to close our body down, we're going to hold all the energy inside, we're going to sort of go back to daily sort of strict mode, as it were. So bring that to a stop, just leave the hands on the belly for a moment. You can just visualize this Wei Qi layer, the energy layer around your skin. Just imagine you've got this sort of 2-inch thick layer of energy around you, a protective field. And then imagine your Qi body, a meter above, below, front, back, left, right. This vast kind of Michelin man suit around you, protecting you, keeping you safe, but also connecting you as well. So we're not an island, we're not alone. This whole sort of idea of being on your own, so unreal. It's just created by the logical side of your brain. You are deeply connected. So we connect ourselves out into the Qi field. We connect ourselves out to our Qi family. We connect ourselves out to everybody, everything. We open ourselves and allow Qi to flow easily through us. Good, so you put a big smile on your face. You let your hands relax down by your sides. You can just wiggle your fingers, move your toes, give a little stretch out to anything that needs a stretch out. And then we finish off by saying Hao La. So Hao La is Chinese for good already. Everything is already fixed. So if you unmute yourselves online, we can all say Hao La together. So I count 1, 2, put our hands up in the air and we all shout Hao La as an affirmation. Okay, hands up in the air. 1, 2. Hao La. 1, 2. Hao La. Great, last time. 1, 2. Ha. Very good. We have a little salute for each other. You make your right hand flat, and you lay your left hand on top. You let the fingers kind of pull each other together, and you seal off the end with your thumbs. So this is called entirety hands. Thank you very much, everybody. Really good to see you today.